Spotify is on. Ready, honey. She on ready.
Oh shoot.
Because I don't think we can't play none of the songs, but I do want to be
Mm-mm.
able to be like, what song is that? I want to be able to like listen to it real quick.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can't. Absolutely. I'm with you. I got my Google right here and ready because I'm like, I tried to look up a bunch of this, but I'm like, oh. Okay.
Okay, you good?
Yes, I'm very good.
All right, here we go. This is Brunch, Blaze, and Bap,
Where we eat, elevate, and talk about
media trends from the past,
the present,
and the future.
from a Black perspective.
I'm your host, Roger Turner,
And I'm your host, Alexis Bertrand.
so sit back
Spark up
and let's get into it. Hey, Alexis.
Hey, Roger, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. Do I sound clear? My brand new microphone over here. She's
You
on my neck.
sound, you
She's on my neck.
sound perfect. Oh, I love it. It is very cute.
Doesn't she look like a cute little pendant?
I thought it was giving pendant. I didn't even think it was the microphone.
She's my microphone.
Oh, and she is very accessory. Like it looks very
Go
natural.
with my outfit, right?
I might want it.
You looking cute and royal in this purple.
Oh, thank you. I am feeling a little purple status. It's my little heart, you know.
Hey,
Right.
purple with love hands and a
With love
rainbow.
hand- right, just to make it all the way clear.
I was like, just gay.
Just giving gay, honey. Yes.
Big old gay t-shirt.
This big old gay t-shirt. You know, sometimes you need to just put on a big old gay t-shirt. I'm just saying.
Not at my house. We hate a rainbow.
Whatever. Use the lie. I know you got a gay t-shirt.
We be like, get these rainbows out of here.
You got a few floating around there. Don't even try it. Queens. Y'all not gonna try me.
It was like, we don't need rainbows. We are gay as a legal fact. We are married.
Y'all do it tastefully. Y'all do like a little like border of something of rainbows. Like it's very crisp. It's just like nice. And I love that. That is very respectable gay.
My husband will not let you bring a rainbow in the house. He'd be like, what is this? Put it in a drawer. I don't
It's like all of it. It's just bright. I get it.
We are not Arizona white lesbians. Get these out of here.
All of this. I get it. I get you. No, we are the magic.
We are the magic. How was your brunch?
Brunch was excellent. I'm back on my fish and chips. But what was interesting is that no, it was just bad. It was just some catfish and some tartar sauce and some fries, honey, and a hush puppy. I was just eating. I ain't gonna lie, I was just eating like an old country boy.
That sounds delicious. I went to my favorite little spot in the neighborhood. I went to Slutty Vegan.
Okay, you know what? Afterwards, we're gonna talk about this. But what did you get?
Oh, I got the side hoe. I got the side hoe.
Okay, you got you a side hoe.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. Delicious.
The side hoe is delicious.
It was.
I can't keep it together.
I usually get what is it?
I was gonna say Streetwalker.
No, it's the Hollywood hooker.
Hollywood hooker, yes.
This is what I get. It's the Hollywood hooker I usually get.
But you said the side hoe.
But let me tell you, it's a hoe spelled Heaux.
Oh, I love that.
So let me tell you what television can do. Because usually when I go over here to Slutty Vegan, it's like it's busy, but not like overrun. Like I can go get my food and come out of there. But let me tell you what television will do, because homegirl.
I know you know. I was gonna say after this, she on a housewife.
She on Housewives. She got a peach now. So founder of Slutty Vegan is on Real Housewives of Atlanta holding a peach. And now, honey, it was compact at the Slutty Vegan.
At capacity. And this is Brooklyn.
Brooklyn Slutty Vegan.
This ain't even an OG location.
And I was like, posers, get out of my way. No, but I want her to make this money. And I want to get my
I want to get my sandwich.
I want to get my sandwich in a timely manner. Get out of my way. I've been here before you.
Like, come on. Now, real quick, you ain't been watching Housewives, have you?
Oh, I absolutely have.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. Talk about it. That's not today's episode, y'all. That's not
Not
today's
today's
episode.
episode,
Mm-mm.
but mess, honey.
Okay.
Mess.
We go. We gonna talk about it. We gotta talk about it on the episode, future episode.
She tried to keep it cute, but Kate Michelle's hood ass is about to
And
let loose.
I am living. It is bringing me back to all my love and hip hop days with that food. Like she is, yes, she
They
is
better
absolutely
not.
the
They better not piss Kate Michelle off.
Oh, please do,
Because it's gonna be
please
fun.
do. Go ahead. Please.
Anyway, on a scale of 1 to 10, how high are you?
A number. I'm trying to find it.
I said scale the what? You trying to find
10.
a number between
I'm trying to
1
find
and 10?
it. I'm trying to find it. Yes, give me a second.
All right. Show's
8?
only an hour.
8, maybe.
An 8.
A mess. I'm a mess. How high are you then?
I'm an 8.5. Nope, I'm a 9. I'm a 9. That's a lot.
Oh shit. Okay, here we go. I mean, this gummy is right today. What is the Lord?
I don't know, but you know what? I'm gonna go down here to the corner and get us some sponsors for these gummies.
I'm saying.
Once I start telling y'all the name of these gummies, they need to get a check.
We need to get a check. Absolutely, an endorsement deal.
You want to tell the people what we're talking about today?
Let me tell the people what we're talking about today. So listen, y'all. We love music over here at Brunch, Blaze, and Babble. And I know y'all love it too, right? And so, but what I'm tired of is that when people's favorite artists come up with like a hit song or a little hit record, we start to throw out the words diva and icon and legend, game changer. We just throw that out to anybody, and everybody has not earned that. They just absolutely have it. And I'm not trying to shade anybody's a favorite or all of these amazing artists. They are. The things that they do, it's incredible work. And I want to honor that. And there are people who are legends for a reason, right? They have come out with you come out with hit records, which is not easy to do. Many of them have made hit albums, which is not easy to do. Right. And there are just some who have in their discography have had multiple hit records. And as I was thinking about this, I was like, you know what? But I think there are very few, even fewer of those hit makers who have had like consecutive hit albums. Yeah. And I think those who have had like consecutive hit albums, those are like the people who I would say are worthy of those titles of legend and game changer. So today's episode, Roger and I are diving into our vast love of music, and we pulled together a list of artists who we feel we would name legends or game changers or legends in the making, because some of these people are really popular with their audience and they have dynamic projects, but very few of them have dynamic projects in order. So we have picked a bunch of artists who we would say have had back to back hit projects. And we're calling this the Trifecta Effect.
Okay. I have fun with this. So I don't have a pull back the curtain today because I think we have I wanted to give us plenty of room to like dive in. And there's not much research that we can really do. Like, y'all know what a hit album is. Like, let's stop pretending like if I have to remind you the name of an album or whatever, and it's not that far in the past, then it probably wasn't a hit album.
It probably wasn't a hit album, but I think it's really important that we talk about like some of the parameters that we have, the criteria that we used, right?
Yeah. So let's start with you. What were your criteria?
Right. So the criteria that I used was the albums had to be in consecutive order. It had to be 3 hit projects that came out in consecutive order. But it didn't have to be the first one. So it could be any 3. So if there was an artist who has 20 albums out, any 3 could work as long as they were in consecutive order. That was one. And then to make it a hit album or a hit album, in my opinion, I think cultural impact, like when we listened to it, it redefined, elevated all of the things. What else would you add in?
For me, it was for it to be a hit album or a great album for me was that there are very few artists that can give me 3 albums in a row that I didn't do any skips. Like, I
Oh,
can listen
you
to
just hit
all 3 albums
mhm.
straight through, and
Mm.
so those were I found some of my favorites of those artists that, like, oh, like, every song on here worked for me.
Mhm.
Um, and, you know, I was looking at, like, some of the obvious like, I tried to pull the obvious out of my head, like, Stevie Wonder, like, which 3, y'all? Like
But you know what? I want to talk about him because I actually am interested in which three,
yeah,
because I
because he
think,
has so many, you could start anywhere and give it a 3 in a row.
but I know some people might get, and I don't want y'all to get on me, bunchers, but I don't know if I would. I mean, it's Stevie Wonder. I probably would say all of them, but I mean, in terms of this hit album, honestly, also for me, like memorable, memorable moments. Like, yes, I'm considering top 10 hits, top, number ones, cultural impact, the no skips. But I don't know if I would say that about all of Stevie's work, or I don't know if everybody would say that. Like I would say they would love this project, this project. They might skip over one. I don't know. I think there's room for that. But I'm
Yeah.
interested if you did say Stevie, which three? Because he's definitely on my list.
Well, I didn't put Stevie on my list because those were kind of like the obvious to me. Like people are gonna like because I looked at different like websites and different collections of
Mm-hmm.
like 3 album like compilations. The Beatles are mentioned a lot. The Stevie Wonder, Prince is mentioned a lot. Um, just a lot of like different people. But I realized in all the lists, there weren't enough Black women.
Yes.
So my list, I immediately was like, okay, I need to start looking through Black women first. Because when we talk about like icon and musical genius and change maker, we often give those titles a lot to men, but very rarely give it to the women that deserve it.
And when we say we, I don't think we talking about Roger and
No,
Alexis
no, no,
on
no.
this.
I
Let's be
mean,
clear, y'all.
as a culture, an American culture.
Can I
Um,
qualify that? I would say that we celebrate the men more because history continues to reveal to us just how many times it was a black woman at the
mhm.
origin of it. And so
History
here we
will,
go to recognizing the history, but in terms of when it happened or when it first came out, we are celebrating the man,
mhm.
if we're barely acknowledging the woman. Um, I appreciate you saying that because I think on the flip, I think the reason why I included Stevie because I struggled with male artists in
Mm,
particular that I thought so we talked about this offline, but like for me, Prince absolutely is an icon, legend, all of the things. I don't know if I would say he had 3 consecutive hit albums in a row, only because I think some could be argued that he went in a more conceptual route on the project he did after that, and some people just dug it and some people didn't. And I think he was playing with genres, he was playing with styles, and he was absolutely could do that. But I wouldn't necessarily, and I know like Rolling Stone or these people like, oh, he was just the artist in him. I'm not knocking that project. I'm just saying it wasn't a hit album. It
yeah, like
didn't
I
change
can't
anything.
like of the albums that I remember, there's always like a skip. Like I was like thinking like, of starting from like the Prince title album.
Mm-hmm.
But and then I was like, oh, then you gotta like put in like controversy, but in between controversy and Prince is Dirty Mind. And Dirty Mind isn't as popular.
You see, yeah.
And I don't remember a lot of those songs. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember like listening to this album like straight through. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
But then you go, if you go from controversy and then you go to 1999,
Mm-hmm.
well, yeah, but I guess I would start there, but I don't know if 1999 and Controversy are as strong as Purple Rain.
See, see, this is why I think it's such an interesting conversation when you look at a legendary artist's discography, right? But it jumps all over the place because he could, because 1999 was so big. So was Purple Rain. And then how long before we got to Diamonds and Pearls, which is what I think is another huge album for Prince. But I think in between there, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's why he didn't show up on my list. And I love Prince. I'm wearing purple today.
And I love Prince, but I agree. Like, well, I avoided talking about men in general. I think there's like literally 2 male identified artists on my list. And I just wanted
3.
to.
Yeah, but mine's is more. Yeah, absolutely.
But most of mine are women.
And can I just say, because I'm not speaking for you, but I think I could, when I say like, we're not, I think for the criteria that we both are using, naturally for us, for me, I know women came up. So I don't want to make it seem like I'm just trying to not only give a spotlight to, because that's what we do on BBB, right? We uplift our Black women in particular. It just so happens for me with this criteria, more women fill that.
Well, more women fill my discography in general. My attention, Black women fill my attention more often than anything else.
Absolutely. Period. Point blank. Period.
That's
point
what I'm
blank.
And I also wanted to like say that yes, people are gonna be looking for, well, not if you listen to this show, but I know people that are first-time listeners maybe and not familiar with us, maybe trying to listen for someone like a Kanye or a Michael or somebody like that. Let me tell you how I'm not gonna be having conversations about Michael Jackson. I'm not gonna do this. I can't have conversations about celebrating Michael and we just pretend like he wasn't touching on little children. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna do it.
Next. Okay.
And
I
then,
will always remember the time, but next.
Yeah, next. And then like, because he about to have a whole ass movie where they just gonna ignore it. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm not ignore it, but like, baby, I don't know why they made this movie. Somebody tell them we're not going to see it.
I want them to stop lying to us about how Jafar worked very hard to get the role. Baby, you was always getting a role. We just waited for you to be ready to do the role.
They had enough of y'all. One of y'all Jacksons was going to do this.
Somebody was going to do it, but we not going to pretend like your daddy wasn't producing this role and you wasn't going to get it.
Stop.
They wasn't bringing in Lakeith Stansfield. Y'all can stop.
Like, nobody about to take that on.
So yeah, I'm not gonna be talking about Kanye.
No,
we're not doing this.
We're not talking about Robert. No,
we're not talking about Robert. We're not doing this. And y'all can have all your fun you want, but I feel like they've gotten all the attention and the props that they need, and it's not hurting them for me to not talk about them because I'm not going to. And it just goes without saying that I believe everything that Beyonce has made. It'd be a trilogy.
Okay, so we shall, because I know, you know what, that I want us to talk about that one, but I want to know which 3 you chose. So we should save her. Let's save her. Which 3 would you say?
Literally the last 3.
Let's just start there, right?
I mean,
like, I love,
because people get picky about different albums, but the last 3 alone. Okay.
Like if she stopped at Cowboy Carter, like she's not. But if she did, my God, from Lemonade to Cowboy
Renaissance
Carter,
Cowboy Carter, done. So I mean,
that was easy. Yeah.
If y'all been listening to us, y'all already know Beyonce is on the list. So I don't even need to really talk about that. We like if you have issues about it, fight me. I mean, I don't know what you're listening to. I mean, it's fine. You can not like her and it not be you. You're probably somebody. It tells me something about you. You don't like nice things.
That part.
Maybe.
That part. So, okay. So let's get into it. So
what you got?
I love how we started with Beyonce and we agreed on that one. So I'm going to start with this. I'm going to keep it easy right now and I'm going to jump around. So I'm keep the standard. Let's talk about Nippy.
Okay. Oh,
Whitney Houston.
you gonna be a list snatcher. You're just gonna snatch stuff off my list. All
No,
right, go
we're gonna
ahead.
go. I mean, because we wouldn't have to be. So let's, because I know she's on your list. So let's do one more. Let's do one more where I think I know somebody's on our list.
No, well, give me the 3 albums for Whitney. What you got?
For mine, I started at Whitney. I skipped the first one. I'll go Whitney, I'm Your Baby Tonight, and the Bodyguard soundtrack.
Okay,
Those are my three.
I started with Whitney Houston, Whitney,
Oh, I
and I'm
know.
Your Baby Tonight.
I mean, because how could you not? I mean, I had this like Saving All My Love for You
Yeah,
or I Will Always Love You. Like I wrestled so hard because that first album, her whole remake of the Isley Brothers, Living for the Love of You, like that
yeah.
was my intro into that song. That's the first time I'd ever heard that song was sung by Whitney.
Literally, think I was like 20 or 21 when I found out For the Love of You was not originally recorded by Whitney Houston.
Me too. I was like, what? Who is these
I was
men
like,
singing this?
who's the Isley Brothers? Why did they make it a Whitney song? They were like, no, they sang it first. And I said, excuse me?
And I'm like, I love it. I mean, so I wrestle with that. I was like, do I not go Bodyguard or do I just go Whitney Houston? Because the Whitney Houston, I mean, Saving All My Love, like nobody sang a sultrier ballad than that woman. So I just let's just put the gold standard. So as we continue the conversation, I think everybody now knows our goal, where we went with Beyonce, where we went with Whitney. They already know the
Okay.
caliber of what we bring in here. All
All
right.
right, we got it.
Who
We
you
got it.
got?
I'm going with Janet Jackson.
Jamita Joe Jackson. Okay, where did you? She's on my list too. Where did you start?
I started with Control. I went Control, Rhythm Nation, and Janet.
I see. I struggled again with this one
Because there's more this later album.
I mean, that Control album literally established her. And what's interesting, I remember like lightly loving Janet when she did Control. I was like, this is cute. And I don't know what it was. But that whole Rhythm Nation had me locked. So I went Rhythm Nation, Janet, and I had to go Velvet Rope. Velvet Rope,
Okay.
because I get lonely together again. Shit. So, Got Till It's Gone. Like I love that whole concept of that side. And honestly, to me, she had done, you know how like Madonna had like went into her sexiness. Like Janet got super, like the Janet album was sexy, but I felt like the Velvet Rope was like Janet's erotic years. And it was like the first time I think I saw a Black woman not be erotic, not be like, it's just tits and ass hanging out. It's like she was allowing herself to be kinky.
It was, I feel like Janet was more sultry and Velvet Rope was sex positive.
Yeah. I absolutely agree with that. But you can't deny the Control album. Like that was a tough one to break. Like it's like Pleasure Principle.
It's the.
You're kidding me?
Because I was already a Janet fan before Control.
Before Control.
Yeah, because she was on television. She was on everything.
That's true. That's right. We grew up.
She was on everything. She was the star of one of my favorite television shows. She was on Fame. She did one of the last few seasons of Fame, and I was like, "Come on, Janet! She can sing and she can dance." I was like, "Give me all the things." We did have the first 2 albums. Like people think Control is Janet's first album, but it's actually her third album.
Her third, yeah.
It's when she was still a child and Joe was running things. And she had that. The first album was Janet Jackson, and the second album was Dream Street.
Dream Street
was so. And you know what? I had a whole conversation with somebody that was like, "Oh, Dream Street was still a good album. It still had When I Think of You." And I said, When I Think of You was on Control. She said, no. Yeah. I was like, I can get how you're confused because When I Think of You sounds very Dream Street-esque. But no, that's Control, baby.
That's Control. That's Control. I think it was because I definitely want to move, but Janet is such a, like we already know why she's an icon for all the things. Everybody has not copied her. They're all influenced, period, because she literally changed the game in the sense that what we loved about Control is like she's literally 18 and she's like, I'm breaking out. But her brother was such a megastar at the time. I I'm like, that's why I think we both agree with Rhythm Nation being on that list because it just set her, to me, that was the one that set her apart from everything that Michael was doing. Like it just set her in a different path. And then when she made the pivot to Janet, because that's something that he wasn't doing. Yes, he was
Mhm.
big, and he tried in ways, but sexy and sultry, that's her entire lane. He couldn't touch that.
So Janet changed the landscape of music for female artists
Mm-hmm.
because before Janet, there were no solo show stage capturing solo artists yet. Like
That's
you
true.
had, they were songstresses and
Mm-hmm.
they had big like shows around them.
Mm-hmm.
Female artists held the stage vocally, but weren't like performance icons like Michael. Um, but it took Janet to come along. We didn't get Janet until like, I mean, her and Madonna are kind of contemporaries, but
Mm-hmm.
Madonna wasn't really doing the thing until Janet really changed the landscape for everyone that now I'm going to see a full scale performance. Christina, Britney, all of those major like female pop stars,
Mm-hmm.
Janet is their mama. Like
Period.
who do you have next? That's you. You're
So
next.
I think what I wanted to I'm gonna jump to a rapper. I want to jump to Kendrick.
Okay.
I want to bring in Kendrick because specifically for me, and I think it's really easy. So I started with Good Kid, Mad City, which is his debut album, which
Absolutely.
I love that, right? And To Pimp a Butterfly didn't had no misses for me. I loved it. Talking about playing it through, I love
Mhm,
that. I love like I think what was the big hit on that one? That was like he had King Kunta on that one. He had
mhm.
All Right, which was on that one, and then his follow it up with Damn. I'm like,
Yep.
that was like huge, right? And so you got Humble and Love and Lust and DNA, like all of these big hits. And here's why, and these albums are so great because it's infused with a lot of dialogue and scene imagery through words and sounds. And I think these projects are studied in college campuses, right? They have courses around them. And this is why, for me, if any, brunchers are big fans of Drake, this is why I believe all of us hip hop aficionados were, we always knew where this was going to go
Mhm.
because Drake has hits and he has a string of albums that impact, right? So for doing what he was doing for years, this man comes out in his first three projects, I think really made hip hop wake up, made it grow up. It just shifted everyone's attention. And now you see all these artists trying to recapture a lot of what Kendrick has done, or at least artist wise, what he's trying to do with hip hop. So
So
this is
you're
why somebody like Drake should never mess with him. So those are my three:
give me your three again. What is your three?
Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, and Damn. Was he on your list?
No, I did not put him on my list. I was
Oh,
thinking about him, and I just didn't put him on my list because I was like, of course, Kendrick. Everyone thinks about Kendrick when they think about three
he's good.
consistent albums. Everybody does that.
All right. Ooh, so when we differ, your next one.
Missy, Misdemeanor Elliott.
Ooh, oh my God. See, I'm glad we in hip hop. Okay. Where did you go? Talk to me. Oh, this one was so tough.
Oh, I started right at Super Duper Fly.
You cannot take out I Can't Stand the Rain, baby.
You got to start with Super Duper Fly,
Mm-hmm.
The Real World, and
Mm-hmm.
Miss E So Addicted.
Wow, yo, when she think about it, from I Can't Stand the Rain to what was the big one? Get Your Freak
Get your
On.
freak on.
Like by the time, like she had already killed us through through like, oh, Hot Boys. Ooh, that was the second album. Hot Boys was,
Mhm.
yo, I love Hot Boys. That's an icon.
Yes. So that's where because I wanted to make sure that I got into hip hop, but I wanted to make sure I definitely because I was thinking about Kendrick and I was like, I feel like we talk about Kendrick all the time. And I was like, who
Hmm.
in hip hop do I want to talk to? And I was like, oh, Missy.
But all right, we're gonna keep it close to the hip hop, but we gotta go to Queen of Hip Hop. So we gotta go to Mary J. Blige.
Okay, interesting. Where'd you start?
I started at the beginning.
Uh-huh.
What's the 411?
Absolutely.
My life,
Uh-huh.
and then Share My World. It was just, it was not, she had R&B in a
In a lock, in a
in a
chokehold.
chokehold. Like it was stupid. It
And
was so
like
stupid.
not just queen, but like mother of hip hop R&B. Like we didn't have an R&B artist that was so closely identified with hip hop until Mary.
Singing these soft tones over these hard edge beats like that,
Hmm. Yeah.
dancing and singing like she felt like a girl from the street. And the, and of course,
I don't know if you can call what she was doing in them high boots dancing, but all right.
man, you go back to that Real Love video. She was,
Yes,
she was,
that's
she
true.
was
That's
okay.
true.
She was
That's
moving. She
true.
can't do it no more now. The boots got a little too high, but she was in her Timbs like everybody else, and she was trying to get them steps in.
Okay, good.
But
Yeah,
but yeah, Mary,
yeah.
definitely. We started the
I'm
same place.
I'm there. I agree with that. I have a controversial take.
Controversial take.
Yeah, because I love this artist. I think this artist has brilliant projects, brilliant songs, great albums. She does have an album I know a lot of people see as a commercial failure or they did not like this album. I
Ooh.
personally really enjoyed that album, but I'm talking about Jasmine Sullivan.
I know exactly what you're talking about. And now I'm with you. Where did
Yeah.
you start? Where did you
So
start?
I said you can start where you want it because her first four albums are Fearless, where you get Bust the Windows Out Your Car, Need You Bad, Lions and Tigers and Bears,
Oh my God, yes.
Love
I'm
Me
in love
Back.
with another man.
Hmm.
Oh, child.
Love Me Back had 10 Seconds, um, Good
Mm.
Enough, Holding You Down. That all that was in there.
Just wait.
And then her third album is Reality Show, which is not considered a commercial success. I know there were people that did not like this album. I really enjoyed
I don't know
Reality.
what they're talking about. I enjoy every bit of it. Mascara is one of my favorites on there. She killed it on there. Let It Burn.
Masterpiece,
Stop.
Let It Burn,
Stop.
Veins, like it had an emotional shift
Yeah.
reality show, and I really enjoyed that. And then her fourth album, Hotels, which she got a Grammy for. So I'm torn. Do I want to start um at Love Me Back and
I
then
think
go
no.
straight to Hotels,
I think
or
you got the
do
sweet spot.
or do I start with Fearless and then go all the way to Reality Show? Because I have to give up
Oh,
one of them because those are four albums in a row. So I was like, I don't know where I want to start. Do I give up Fearless or do I give up Hotels? And I don't want to give up either one. But
here's why
um,
I think. Okay, can I make a pitch? Can I make a plea
go
for
for it.
reality show? It is the precursor. Like, I don't think she could have got the hotels without going through reality show. I think reality show is a very emotional, like you said, emotional album, and she's saying that way. And I think she perfected it in hotels. I think they didn't pay attention enough to her in reality show. I think I'm saying it became undeniable that she should win for
Right.
hotels.
I
But
got you.
but when I hear like Coco Jones and when I hear like Ari Lennox and when I hear Money Long, when I hear them in the way they are now approaching that work, for me, that sounds more like Jasmine's reality, like reality
Yeah.
show. I'm not saying they're not contemporaries, but I feel like she's like big sis for
Uh,
them.
I, I would agree with everything that you just said. Yeah, I
So
do
that
agree
like
with that.
if you kept reality show, like I don't think you did it. I think you're still doing a solid because it is so well executed and it's very vulnerable. It's a very vulnerable project, in my opinion.
Okay, what you got next?
I think real quick, this is interesting. I wanted to go because I was like, I jumped in gospel. I'm gonna do like all I really was like album to album to album. I came up with Kirk. I came at Kirk Franklin.
Okay.
And I'm like, because, and you know, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that to him. I think I started with the family
Hmm.
because, right, the family and then the Christmas album. I forgot how big the Christmas album. We all
Yeah,
were singing,
the
you know,
Christmas album
Jesus
was
is the
huge.
reason, right? And then they turn back and come out with what you looking for.
Hmm.
Like, whoa, like, and so I remember, and I know you remember, even though we were both kids in church already, I remember seeing kids come back to church. Like youth choir became a really big deal again because I think Kirk he had introduced the sound like we had talked about before, that really kind of revitalized a lot of communities because it was pulling people back into church. And he did it again and again and again. And I just thought it was a masterstroke for him to come up with this first project that we all loved. And then you come up with a Christmas album, knowing that particularly for the Black communities, Christmas is a really big deal. So for us now to have, it's almost like what Mariah Carey did with popular music.
Hmm.
He redid for gospel music. I'm gonna give you a whole Christmas album and you can sing all of these versions of it this way. And I really think he paved the way for a lot of gospel artists to start doing their own Christmas albums. I'm not saying he was the first to do it, but because he was already so popular, and then he grew it with the holiday thing, and then what you're looking for, like it's crazy. I put Kurt on the list for like that kind of game changer.
Okay, because I just knew you was gonna put some Yolanda Adams on here because
I,
she,
mm-mm. I
Mama,
don't know if I got three in a row that wears me out. Three
really,
albums,
really, because
no skip.
I would go at her
Give them to me.
at her very best, Through the Storm, and Save the World.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Save the
Or
world.
you could start with Through the Storm,
Oh,
Save the World, and More Than a
oh,
Melody.
you went back. Ooh. Okay, now wait a minute. I could go save the world.
You could go
Oh,
save
wait a
the,
minute. I need
you could
save the
go
world.
Through the Storm, Save the World, More Than a Melody.
Yeah, I might need because I mean, oh, I'm so sorry. My bad. I forgot Miss Yolanda. But
Let me
through
tell
the
you.
storm, baby, played in my house.
Let me tell you
Through
what
the
was where everybody was seeing Yolanda
mm.
at the drag shows.
Weren't they though, girl?
Don't you know? There was literally every black drag queen across the country was ending their set with a Yolanda Adams song.
Did you like going to a pageant and it always be the one girl who's gonna come out for the talent number and do a gospel number
And always have that her hair up with a flower in her hair, just like Yolanda.
with the choir robe on already, ready for the reveal?
Hmm.
And 9 times I tend to do a Yolanda Adams song. Like I don't want to work. I done backflipped on my last song. I'm gonna walk through and just collect my tips.
Right.
Oh, Yolanda's a great addition. I'm so sorry I didn't even think about that.
Okay. All right. Well, that wasn't mine. I was just
No, you smart though.
questioning
No, give
whether
me yours.
right.
Give me yours. I wonder if you're gonna pick this person, but keep going.
My question was just where we start because the woman literally did like 6 albums in like 7 years. Rihanna.
Made my list. Where did you start?
I started with Good Girl Gone Bad, Rated R, and then Loud.
I I struggle with that. I started with A Girl Like Me, Good
Okay.
Girl Gone Bad, and Rated R. We definitely agreed on Good Girl Gone Bad, Rated R. Loud was a struggle, but Loud is so good. I think you know what? I might want to flip on this one because I like Girl Like Me, but
Because
Loud, she got it right.
I wanted to start with Loud and go
The anti, but
and go into anti. You ever see Naomi Campbell and Rihanna together?
no, are they cute?
It's like baby sis. Like and she will say her name the Caribbean way to make she was like,
Oh,
it's,
I love that.
and she will say it the Caribbean way and ignore how everybody's been saying it in the press, and she will just get right up there. And
Oh, I love that. Okay, all right. So, did Tony Braxton make your list?
oh shit, and no, I
We need
see
to
how
give
she could be.
we need to give her flowers real quick because
Yeah,
those first three
absolutely.
projects went hard. Tony Braxton, Secrets. Ooh. and then The Heat.
Mhm.
So, you get, Breathe Again, you coming up, You Mean the World to Me. She was in this lane doing, she was sounding like a young Anita,
Okay.
but giving
Yep.
us, that Mean Bob. And I think she also, like, she really, in the era of prime Whitney, prime Mariah, prime Celine, somehow prime Mary, like all of these big artists are doing their thing. Somehow Tony crafted, I mean, Anita, speaking of, Anita was still there. We still had Aretha who was making projects. Patty, all of these people are making all these projects. And then you have Tony carved out a lane with her, her partnership with Babyface, and she grew too. So I love how it just kept getting sexier and sexier, and it just worked for her. And I think pound for pound, that's why Tony is a living legend, and it was her first three. I think her first three, not that she's had other albums that are good, I think her first three are her strongest. And that was her trifecta coming into the game, which I think is amazing. So,
That yeah, I can't argue with any of that. I do have a group. I feel like they don't get enough credit for how much crossover their sound was. The Pointer
mm.
Sisters.
Come on now. Come on now. Come
People
on now, Pointer Sisters.
people forget the Pointer Sisters had like songs that were like iconic, like songs from the 80s. They had music that was like cinematic. They were
Yeah.
on so many different movie soundtracks. And like you forget that that song was them. Like Automatic.
Oh, no way to control it.
You gonna say automatic. Like that
Mm-hmm.
song is very different from oh my god, I'm so excited.
Right, but still high energy. No, no,
Yeah.
no. That one was really high energy, but Automatic had a groove to it. It was,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, and like Jump.
And Jump.
Yeah,
Ooh,
like
and
they
Fire. Mm-hmm.
mhm,
Great,
um,
great choice.
so I
Ah,
wanted to get some like oldie, like that. Well, before I mean, most of what we're naming is oldie, but the last two women, I will wait to see if you put them out. But
okay,
go
so I'm gonna
ahead,
throw
what
out
you
my
got?
one group real quick too. So my one group I'm gonna throw out is SWV.
SWVU.
UVESS man. Like, again, just like Tony, their first three projects out the gate, they in an era where girl groups were everywhere, and this is like pre-Destiny's Child, but like R&B girl groups were every friggin' where, and they have carved. TLC was big, Escape, Brownstone. Um, I'm blanking, but like for SWV to come in here and like carve out their own space, we still singing Weak. We're still singing
Mm-hmm.
Weak. And I think, and then so I went from It's About Time to New Beginnings, because that's the one, You're the One for Me. That's
Mm-hmm,
one had
mm-hmm.
Use Your Heart, which was the big one. Use Your Heart, my
Yes.
eyes. That's
Just
the
a
second album.
ride.
Like, that's
Yes.
their second thing that they came up with. And then, oh my God, Release Some Tension. Release the Tension is so great. That's when you get Can We Get Kinky Tonight? And of course their classic Rain. And so those three albums, like their first three albums, the
That's
90s.
that rain.
What?
Rain down on
Ah,
me.
we still
Let
singing
your
that.
love. Yes, absolutely.
So SWV. So I love how we brought in girl groups real quick. The Pointer Sisters was an amazing choice. And I think SWV, in terms of a modern day Pointer Sisters, if you will, deserve their props too.
Oh,
All
that
right.
was not the girl group that I thought you were going to say. Because we
Oh,
love everything Beyonce, so I wasn't even thinking Destiny's Child. But I was going to give you the girl group Mama, which is En Vogue.
I didn't touch them. They did not make my list.
I put them on the list because if you start with Born to Sing
I know.
into Funky Divas,
Funky Divas was everything.
into Runaway Love,
I
well,
thought
Runaway
EV3, it was
EV3,
uh, 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 uh,
Runaway Love is a Runaway Love is a Runaway Love is a EV3. Runaway Love is a is a EP, but EV3 is still a strong album.
What was the wait a minute? They should have been on my list. What was on EV3? That's what they had that's not Give 'Em Up, Turn It Loose. That's Funky Divas.
Right.
This one had Whatever. That was the big
Um,
song, I think. Whatever
EV
you
EV3
want.
had Don't Let Go.
Never mind. Never mind. You're right. In Vogue need to be on the list. That right there. Don't let
Hmm.
go.
Hmm.
What's it gonna be? What? I don't even want to play with
I
this.
can pretend.
Ooh, I'ma shut the hell up right now. That one right there.
Yeah.
No,
EV3 still was a strong album.
it is very much a strong. Oh, Too Gone, Too Long. Okay, yep. I shut up. Invo definitely needs to be up there in terms of girl groups. Okay, was
Because
that one of yours?
there's really not three because she left like right before the album release.
I mean, they named it EV3, so
I
I
mean, they
don't know.
named it EV3, but was she in the studio already? I feel like she was in the studio because she
Oh
left
no,
right
I
before the
mean,
release.
I might have to look up the credits on this one because I'm like, who sang backup on?
Because did they just go out and just go and scrub all her vocals? I mean, it's possible because they probably didn't record all in the booth together.
I mean, I don't Maxine vocals, Terry vocals, Dawn Robinson.
Yeah, see,
Did you
she's still on the
what's it
album.
gonna be? That right there. So last two.
Go
All
ahead.
right. I went Erica Badu.
Yeah, she's yeah, that's her. That's the one.
Damn.
She's one of them. Yeah.
Okay,
Where did
Erica.
you start though?
Baduism. I am not exclude her first three. I went Baduism, live, and then Mama's Gun.
I went live, Mama's Gun, Worldwide Underground.
Oh, I can't let go of Other Side of the Game. It is
But
literally my favorite song on that.
Worldwide Underground, I just
And no, it
cannot.
slaps. It's so good. It's
I
like
can't let it go.
the wheels went off. The wheels. She took the wheels off on that one, but like
But I had to. It felt like I was like I was. I had to bleed to give up Baduism.
I know on and certainly and
Yeah.
next lifetime.
Hmm.
Ooh, I get you though. I get you though. Okay, so we matched on Erica. Okay, let's see if we match on the last one then.
Okay, go ahead.
No, you go.
No. I'm not gonna. Who I have is going to be a male. I'm not gonna say the other female because I know she's your other female. She's probably in there.
She
But
has to be on
my
here.
next so I pulled out my of the men that I have or men identified, this is more of a group, but I could not go without mentioning Tribe Called Quest.
They didn't want on my list, but you're absolutely right. Absolutely. Where did you start? This is interesting. Oh, like I want to go 3 feet in high, 3 feet high and rising. I think is when I met them. But I'm interested to see how they line up because yeah.
So I started with The Low End Theory, Midnight Marauders, and Beats, Rhymes, and Life.
Boom. Here we go. Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
mean,
where, yeah.
it's interesting. I feel like I'm hearing more of their flow in some of these now modern hip hop artists. I hear a lot of Tribe. You see, I feel like I see them visually now more and more of the videos, just the way they showed up, like really simplistic but colorful and like this kind of like rock and beat, great messaging. Like Tribe is a blueprint at this point. Tribe is great. Okay. I think I might surprise you. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
keep the one that you think that I was gonna choose as my honorable mention, but the last person I want to give flowers to is someone that I've rarely given flowers to on the show, and I think that would be Sade.
Not who I thought you were gonna say. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I just said because in terms of, I think Sade is still unmatched. I feel like there is some people might play with her. I think she found a way between jazz and R&B and blues and ethereal in a really special way. So I started with Promise, her album Promise, Stronger Than Pride, and then Love Deluxe. Promise because Is It a Crime? Like is still one of the most beautiful love songs that I've ever heard in my entire existence. And even though that group, only comes out, even though Sade is a person, the group is called Sade.
Mhm,
They release albums very infrequently compared to
mhm,
others, but Is It a Crime? Sweetest Taboo. Like I had to start with there and to go to Stronger Than Pride and then Cherish the Day. Like I just think there are just that band has an unmatched sound. And in terms of no skips, when I really want to like settle my nervous system, like I
mhm.
listen to Sade. I just put Sade on. So I had to give her flowers and her legendary status. So I had an honorable mention. Did you think I was gonna choose, you want me to say?
Good.
You think I was gonna choose Brandy?
Yeah, absolutely.
As I mean, like, but see
Yeah.
me, I'm such a Brandy fan that I would say pick any of the albums. But if I had to, what would
What you
you
said.
what you think I would choose?
I had started at Never Say Never, Full Moon, Aphrodisiac.
Why are you playing in my face?
Because
Because
how
that's
we
literally
let
what I picked. Never Say Never, Full Moon. And I love Aphrodisiac. I feel like
Aphrodisiac. How do
it
you
is
not
so
add
good.
Aphrodisiac?
It is so good. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. And and I love, I mean, her opening Brandy one is so great. But not Aphrodisiac. I had to keep that in there. So we actually did end on the same one there.
Hmm. So
All
my
right.
other male identified um artists that I have on here, and it's basically because you can start anywhere. They're kind of a classic. I inherited this taste for them. I have family members much older than me that really loved this artist. And once I started learning more about the history of this artist and started to blend in some of the work that I was doing later, it it became even more and more interesting to listen to this person. But Fela Kuti,
Oh my
um,
God. Great addition.
Fela Kuti literally has like 20 some odd albums, like so many albums.
Mm.
Um, and a
Mm.
lot of the earlier work is not like the term, but if you can find some of his early work, you can see how he's transitioning and crafting the sound. If you don't, brunches, if you don't know who Fela Kuti is the artist that is recognized as the father of Afro jazz music
Mm.
or Afro beats. We get Afro beats or Afro jazz like music from Fela
Oh,
Kuti.
yeah.
And yeah, I've listened recently. If you guys are just understanding or learning about Fela Kuti, like it's Obama describes Fela Kuti as one of his most influential artists
That's
of
how
all
I got
time.
introduced. I
Yeah,
picked it up was from what Obama said. Yeah.
yeah, Fela Kuti. So yeah, there's a podcast called Fela Kuti Fear No Man, and if you can check it out, listen to it. I don't usually suggest podcasts because we're podcasts, and why you listen to somebody else
Right. Don't
besides
play
us?
with my face.
But it's a mini series podcast. It does a short history in each one, but it breaks down like Fela Kuti's influences, his complications. He's a flawed man, not without controversy.
Mm.
But they don't ignore it. They definitely add it as a part of Fela's story. But what I started with for me of the three albums consecutively was Zombie, Stalemate, and No Agreement.
That was a nice addition. I didn't even think about that, but I think he's great. I think he's great. Um, and talk about not even game changer, like game setter, like I don't know, game
Mhm.
creator. Like,
Yeah, he
yeah,
changed
that
the
was definitely
sound.
it's a great one.
Yeah, but there are people that I wanted to add that I didn't add because we had like time. Just honorable mention the
Mhm.
Roots.
Okay.
The Roots like defined a whole like sound in like R&B, hip hop. They like while Mary is like the queen of hip hop R&B, like um the Roots crafted the sound of hip hop R&B.
Mm, mhm, mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
they
They weren't afraid to play around with that, I mean, they worked with some incredible producers, like yeah. It
Yeah,
was
they transitioned the sound of hip hop R&B from like track play and beat machine and brought it into the instrumental realm.
yeah. It made it feel more fluid. And it definitely, speaking of, it's interesting that we're talking about the roots because thinking about Tribe, particularly in like the later years, even not even in the later years, even though the project that we mentioned, there were these moments where you could tell they went more jazzy and it had like this kind of nice balance and flow to it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm sure if we talked to like Black Thought or Questlove or any other Roots crew, that I'm sure Tribe is in there. Like you could just hear it. How
Yeah,
it's just
because
it's more masterful.
both groups recognize that their musical influences were from jazz. A lot
Yeah,
of them,
yeah,
both groups
that's true.
had a lot of jazz influence.
Yeah, Harlem Renaissance and all of those. Like, yeah, that's so great. Yeah, Roots is a great honorable mention. Yeah.
Um, and those
Oh,
three
here.
albums I would have done with them is Do You Want More, The
Mm.
Philadelphia Half Life, and Things Fall Apart. Things Fall Apart by them is literally my favorite album by them.
Most I love the album cover. I love the whole concept of that. Oh, that was great too. And even though I don't listen to her anymore, like not that much anymore, but like Alicia, as I was researching this, like I had to like give some respect to like Alicia Keys and remember like, yo,
She definitely had albums
her
like
start
back to
was
back to back.
insane. It was insane, you know.
Yeah,
So, but this was a really fun project.
this was fun.
It was
I
good.
think so. Listen, I think I think we're around the end, right?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah,
I'm so good.
I
This
think
was
we're
so
good.
fun.
I think
Thank
I
you for
got it all out my
indulging.
system.
Mm.
But brunchers, if you have an artist with a 3 consecutive album like uh run,
Mhm.
let us know. You can send me an email, roger.t@brunchblazeandbabble.com.
Or you can send me an email at alexis.b@brunchblazeandbabble, all spelled out.com.
So yeah, I'm gonna come up with a nice little song for us to sing to spell out the
Ooh,
email.
we're gonna do a jingle?
Yeah, I think we need to do a jingle to make sure
Let's
we
do a
do
jingle.
it.
You
But
know we singers.
I think I'm gonna do it next time. We're gonna do it next time.
Do a little two-part harmony. We should do
We'll
it.
have it be ready.
Okay, I love that.
So brunchers, if you're around on Thursday, April 30th at 5:30 at Brick Arts Media in Brooklyn, will be hosting the podcast intensive listening party of 2026. And what's
Ooh.
important about this is that one, I am an alumni of the podcast intensive. I learned a lot.
Hey.
I learned a lot from that intensive that helped us develop this podcast.
Yes, he did.
And you're going to hear some great new podcasters that are going to release their trailers for their new podcast. And I will be hosting that evening. So if you can come out and enjoy that evening with us, that would be great. Check us out on Thursday, April 30th at 5:30 p.m. at Brick Arts Media in Brooklyn, New York. What do you want to tell the people?
I want to tell the people that you are already the winning trifecta, okay, baby? So go out in the world and be good or be good at it.
And I want you to know that you are enough just as you are. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you so much.